Have you ever caught yourself daydreaming about that glorious moment of victory, only to feel an unsettling doubt creep in right behind your boldest ambitions? It's like somewhere, just beyond the spotlight, a tiny voice whispers, "You don't deserve this," or, "If you push too hard, you'll lose everything." That voice is cunning. It convinces you that you're doing everything right, staying positive, visualizing success, fueling your grind with motivational mantras, when in fact, it's quietly preparing a trap. Why is it that the desire to win can become our greatest weakness? Could the very mindset that promises success be laying down the seeds of self-doubt, exhaustion, and destructive perfectionism? The subtle fear is that we're never quite enough, no matter how hard we push. We demand more from ourselves, more focus, more hours, more no excuses, until we stand on the edge of burnout. And once you're at that edge, you might find the line between driving yourself forward and driving yourself into the ground is vanishingly thin. A big question looms here. What if the real enemy in your pursuit of victory isn't some rival or lack of opportunity, but rather your own inner critic masquerading as your biggest cheerleader? This question is unnerving because it forces us to ask whether our relentless push for success is, in fact, the very thing blocking our path. You might wonder, if I step off this racetrack, will I be able to pick up the pieces of my life again? Or, if I keep racing forward, will I eventually run myself into the ground? There are two unresolved mysteries to keep in mind. First is the drive versus. The dread. Is your fierce ambition fueling progress, or kindling quiet anxiety that could explode at the worst possible moment? The other mystery is the inner critic, or inner coach. How do you rewrite the script of that internal voice, turning it from a sabotage expert into your greatest strategic ally? Before this journey is over, you'll confront truths that may upend your understanding of winning, discover how to unmask your hidden self-sabotage, and learn why what you think is a winner's mindset might actually be your undoing. Your success and your sanity might depend on it. To grasp the deeper layers of the winner's mindset trap, it helps to look at those who've wrestled with ambition and the psyche on a grand scale. Napoleon Hill, best known for his iconic work, Think and Grow Rich, famously taught that unwavering desire, faith, and persistence form the bedrock of success. His writings encouraged a singular focus on your burning goal. Visualization, affirmation, unwavering self-belief, all these were seen as pathways to achieving greatness. Yet, Hill's methodology, while powerful, has a hidden edge. If all you cultivate is the unrelenting drive to succeed, you risk burying doubts and weaknesses under a forced optimism. You tell yourself that any admission of fear or uncertainty is a lapse in mental discipline. But each fear you bury can resurface at critical moments, fueling procrastination, chipping away at your motivation, or driving you toward near-obsessive levels of perfectionism that eventually sabotage you. Enter Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who introduced the concept of the shadow, the hidden aspects of our psyche we refuse to acknowledge. According to Jung, anything about ourselves we deny or repress doesn't vanish. It grows in darkness and gains power. The more we pretend we have no doubts, no insecurities, no messy corners in our ambition, the more we feed the very forces that can shatter our progress. So, when you adopt a winner's mindset that allows no space for negative emotions, it's as if you're charging forward but leaving a stealthy saboteur unguarded behind you. Consider historical and modern examples. The top-performing athlete who cracks under pressure in a pivotal game, the celebrity who self-destructs at the peak of fame, the high-level executive who unravels when faced with an unexpected setback. Common to these stories is the tendency to treat vulnerability as a liability, forcing every concern and fear deep into the subconscious. Over time, that hidden fear morphs into something bigger, an internal boogeyman that emerges precisely when you can least afford it. How does this connect to you right now? If you've ever found yourself pushing so hard for a win that your personal relationships frayed, your health deteriorated, or your sense of self-worth became entirely contingent on your next achievement, you might be living out a similar trap. You're fueling your drive with positivity, but never offering space for introspection or healthy doubt. You're aiming for the top without acknowledging what it costs psychologically. And that cost can be devastating when it shows up as burnout, panic attacks, or a numbing sense of, I don't even know who I am anymore. Combining Hill's emphasis on resolute ambition with Jung's warning about the hidden shadow creates a more complete picture of success. We do need drive, but we also need honesty. We need faith in ourselves, but we also need to acknowledge the parts of us that feel inadequate, frightened, or unsure. Otherwise, the very mindset that promises victory can plant the seeds of our downfall, opening a loop of self-sabotage that grows with every forced smile or unaddressed anxiety. This sense of incomplete understanding, knowing Hill's formula for success, works only if we can integrate Jung's insights about our hidden fears, sets the stage for the deeper exploration ahead. Because if you truly want to win, you must learn to meet your own shadow and harness it, rather than letting it harness you. You might be wondering, why would I sabotage myself? If I genuinely want success, why would I ever do anything to undermine it? That question is precisely where your deeper psychological reality comes into play. Inside, each of us lives a voice, often labeled the inner critic. This critic can be downright cruel, telling you you're not good enough, that you'll fail if you try, or that you don't deserve success. It can feel shocking to realize that sometimes we are more ruthless with ourselves than any external enemy ever could be. But what if this critical voice is, in a twisted sense, trying to protect you? Our psyche has an uncanny way of trading short-term discomfort for perceived long-term safety. If you never fully commit to your ambition, then you never have to face the crushing possibility of failing. Or, if you're constantly pushing, you can keep your insecurities hidden under a mask of productivity. The inner critic's sabotage tactics, procrastination, self-doubt, perfectionism, often serve as buffers against deeper emotional hurts. You stall out on finishing that big project because if you never finish, no one can judge your final product. You rework tasks endlessly because if you never call it done, you never risk the sting of disapproval. The revelation here is that the inner critic's sabotage is a misguided shield. Recognizing this is the first step toward dismantling it. Another hidden layer to the winner's mindset trap is the tension between fearing failure and fearing success. Fear of failure is relatively straightforward. You dread falling short, looking incompetent, or letting people down. But fear of success is trickier. It involves anxiety about increased expectations, potential jealousy from peers, or the unrelenting pressure to keep outperforming yourself once you've reached a certain level. Imagine you're on the brink of a major breakthrough at work. Suddenly, you find yourself mysteriously losing motivation, picking petty fights, or indulging in distractions. On the surface, it looks like laziness or lack of discipline. But in truth, you may be terrified of the changes success will bring. What if your co-workers start resenting you? What if you can never replicate your stellar performance again? Sometimes, our sabotage is less about avoiding failure and more about dreading life on the other side of winning. Perfectionism can be seen as the winner's mindset in overdrive. If I'm not perfect, I'm not worthy. This thinking can lead you to pour obsessive amounts of time and energy into tasks, ironically stalling genuine progress. It can also kill creativity because you fear taking bold risks that might reveal flaws. Instead of being a champion who iterates, learns, and grows, the perfectionist becomes stuck on an impossible pedestal. Perfectionism's cruel joke is that it disguises itself as excellence and high standards, but in reality, it's a relentless loop telling you, not enough, not enough, not enough. No matter how much you achieve, you never feel satisfied. You're always scanning for tiny flaws or anticipating judgment. In the context of a winner's mindset, this means you're constantly raising the bar on yourself, never allowing a moment of pride or relief. A world saturated with social media and success stories heightens the trap of the winner's mindset by fueling endless comparisons. You see others achieving more quickly. Their highlight reels make your day-to-day grind look mundane. Instead of fueling healthy competition, you end up in a spiral of shame or desperation, pushing yourself harder in ways that don't align with your personal strengths or goals. Viewing others as benchmarks for your self-worth invites sabotage. The frustration can compel you to quit prematurely or take reckless risks, all because you're chasing an ideal that isn't truly yours. A deeply hidden aspect of self-sabotage is burnout, a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion, often mislabeled as just stress. Burnout creeps up quietly. You press on, ignoring warning signs like chronic fatigue or irritability, trusting your unstoppable winner's mindset to sustain you. Then, one day, you wake up unable to muster the will to do anything. Your goals, once energizing, become hollow burdens. Why this sabotage is so insidious, you might not realize it until it's too late. Burnout can mimic depression and anxiety, leaving you questioning your competence and your worth. By the time you notice, your momentum might have collapsed. Now let's shift the focus squarely onto you. Yes, you, listening, may be feeling a little unsettled or even a little defensive. Think about the last major opportunity or dream you had. Did you push forward relentlessly, ignoring personal red flags? Did you stall out at the 11th hour, telling yourself you'd do it tomorrow? How many relationships, health habits, or moments of joy have you sacrificed at the altar of, when I finally win, then I'll take care of myself or enjoy life? You are the fulcrum. External challenges exist, of course, but the pivot point in your success story is the dynamic between your conscious drive to win and the unconscious impulses that resist it. Every time you blame external circumstances, you miss a chance to examine your own patterns. Acknowledge the pain without shame. One of the biggest obstacles to honest self-reflection is shame. We fear being seen as weak or flawed, but shame is another tool the inner critic uses to keep you silent and stuck. Acknowledge that it hurts to see your hidden sabotage. Acknowledge that you're afraid of what might happen if you truly let yourself succeed, or if you fail spectacularly in front of everyone. Let that fear breathe for a moment. Accept that it's there without judgment. When you allow yourself to feel that fear and longing to win at the same time, you're stepping into a more authentic, more powerful mindset. You stop playing the part of the bulletproof overachiever and start allowing genuine humanity into the equation. Next, think back to moments where sabotage undermined you. If you're honest, you might see repeated scenarios: quitting something as soon as it got hard, obsessively overworking until you shut down, or even causing drama that derailed a project. It's easy to beat yourself up over these patterns, but what if they were serving a twisted function? Sometimes sabotage is a way to protect yourself from deeper threats: fear of judgment, fear of losing love or support, fear of stepping into an unknown future. By understanding sabotage as a clumsy form of self-preservation, you free yourself from self-hatred. Instead of vilifying your past self, you can now approach it with empathy. And from that empathy arises a chance to do better next time. You aren't who you think you are, and that's good news. The winner's mindset trap often relies on the idea that I must be X, Y, and Z to succeed, and I must never deviate. But you're far more complex than any single identity. You have layers of vulnerability, adaptability, and unrealized potential. Clinging to a rigid identity can suffocate your real capacity for growth. If you're asking, if I'm not who I thought I was, then who am I? That's precisely the kind of question that can propel you toward genuine transformation. Just be prepared for the discomfort of not having a neat answer right away. The not knowing is where real progress brews. You might be feeling stirred up right now, maybe frustrated or optimistic, or both. We've identified sabotage, recognized the protective motives behind it, and confronted your role in perpetuating it. Yet you might still be asking, so, how do I actually make a change? How do I step off this destructive hamster wheel? That resolution doesn't come from a quick fix or a catchy motivational quote. It demands that you open your mind to new definitions of winning, develop an honest relationship with your doubts, and adopt daily practices that keep your ambition in healthy balance. Breaking the cycle. Practical tools for a genuine champion's mindset. Let's finally tackle the biggest question. How do you escape the winner's mindset trap and genuinely succeed without self-sabotage? Here are foundational strategies to reset your approach. Embrace radical self-honesty. Daily check-ins. Spend 5 minutes in the morning or evening, alone with your thoughts. Ask yourself, what am I most afraid of today? And what am I most hopeful for? Write down whatever comes up. No censoring. This habit provides a safe space to process fears before they morph into sabotage. Name your saboteur. Personify your sabotaging impulses. Give that voice a name, even if it's silly. When negative thoughts arise, like, you'll fail anyway, mentally address them. Okay, Shadow Steve, I see you, but I'm still moving forward. This technique helps you gain distance from self-defeating chatter. Shift from inner critic to inner coach. Reframe critiques. Whenever you catch yourself in harsh self-judgment, reframe it as a coaching statement. Instead of, I'll never get this right, say, I haven't mastered this yet, but here's what I can do next. Celebrate micro wins. Don't wait for a massive victory to feel like a winner. Acknowledge daily increments of progress. Micro celebrations rewire your brain to see momentum rather than deficits. Redefine winning. Values-based goals. Go beyond numeric targets or external validation. Ask, does this align with who I genuinely want to be? Let your self-worth flow from living in line with core values, like creativity, integrity, and empathy, rather than from fleeting triumphs. Set sustainable paces. If you're always sprinting, you'll eventually collapse. Treat your ambition like marathon training. Build in rest days, recovery rituals, and moments of reflection. Build an accountability ecosystem. Mentors and allies. Find people genuinely invested in your personal growth, not just your achievements. Mentors can guide you back when they see you tipping into overwork or self-sabotage. Allies, friends, or peers provide mutual encouragement and reality checks. Public declarations. Carefully share your goals with individuals whose respect you value. The knowledge that they're tracking your progress can deter self-sabotage when it rears its head. By integrating these practices, you begin to close the loops we opened earlier. Your drive is balanced by a clear-eyed understanding of your fears, and your inner critic evolves into a strategic inner coach. The question remains, will you do this? Change is never about theoretical knowledge alone. It's about committing to daily, sometimes uncomfortable, action. If you're still here, it means you've taken a bold step toward unraveling your own patterns. Let's seal this commitment with a clear marker of your progress. Comment below with, I choose a champion's mindset. No more sabotage. By typing this phrase, you're not just repeating empty words, you're publicly declaring that you've confronted your sabotage cycles and are ready to transform them into a healthier, more authentic path to winning. Let's see who's brave enough to make that promise in writing. Keep winning on your terms. You've just navigated a profound journey, one that asked you to question not just how to succeed, but why you want it in the first place, and what hidden forces might be blocking your path. You've uncovered the secret motives of your inner critic, learned to spot the fear of success lurking behind your hustle, and discovered tangible strategies to realign ambition with self-awareness. Life is too short to be trapped in an endless race of achieve, burnout, repeat. The genuine joy of winning is about forward motion that respects your humanity, your need for rest, relationships, exploration, and yes, even a healthy dose of uncertainty. When you redefine winning to include inner peace, meaningful goals, and authentic connections, you aren't just conquering your to-do list, you're conquering your future. If today's message has made you stop, think, and realize that maybe you've been running too fast on the wrong track, let's stay connected. True transformation doesn't happen in one conversation. It unfolds through consistent reminders and explorations of new facets of yourself. So, if you're ready to continue this journey, if you want future insights on conquering self-sabotage, nurturing real self-confidence, and stepping into the life you deserve, subscribe right now. It's a simple act, but it symbolizes a bigger commitment. You're choosing growth over stagnation, awareness over denial, and authentic self-respect over shallow praise. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep building a mindset that doesn't just chase victory, but truly understands it, owns it, and cherishes everything that victory can mean. I can't wait to see you rise.